Hey, how's it going? Welcome inside the Walker Ice and Fitness Center. It's a hockey night in West Michigan on this Wednesday evening for the third straight Wednesday. Your East Grand Rapids Pioneers are back on the ice sheet, and tonight on the road to take on the Kenowa Hills Knights. Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Gajtka, and like I said, it's becoming a little bit of a habit here, a little midweek game, some midweek action. We won't have one next week, but I guess it's good to get used to it because we'll also have the OK Conference Tournament in a couple of weeks' time, too. Very exciting, first of its kind event, but before that, your Pioneers have some further business to take care of, including tonight's regularly scheduled matchup against the Kenowa Hills Knights. The last 3 years, they've played the Knights on a Wednesday in January, and this is about as January as it gets tonight. Temperatures down into the single digits once again for the third straight evening, and, well, let's put it this way. It's much warmer inside the ice rink than it is outside the ice rink. Your Pioneers coming off of a big win, 6-1 against the Forest Hills Central Rangers just this past Friday. It was supposed to be a two-game series at Patterson. It ended up just being the one-game series because of lack of availability for officials, for one thing. I know Forest Hills Central was battling some illness too, but speaking of battles, that was a great matchup last Friday. A fantastic crowd, cool atmosphere at Patterson. I saw State Champs was there to cover it as well, as EGR ended up pumping in 4 goals in the third period to turn a close game into a runaway. And the top unit for East Grand Rapids, or the top trio, I guess we'll put it that way. They haven't always been on the same line this year, but the senior trio of James Albers, Oliver Owen, and Brady Ross had a field day as Albers was unleashed for 2 goals and an assist. Oliver Owen had 3 points as well, 1 goal, 2 helpers, and Ross had a goal and an assist. And I'll welcome you onto press row in just a moment. There we go. Hello. Yeah, a little bit less formal than usual here, as I've got my back against the wall, literally, at the Walker Ice and Fitness Center, my home away from home, as my son plays in the cross ice program here. So I'm usually on the ice, volunteer coaching. Kind of nice to sit back and take in some action of the high school variety here tonight. Anyway, that win for your Pioneers against Forest Hills Central, which we did not have on the network, ended up boosting their record to 12-3-1. The Pioneers on the year outscoring opponents by 40 goals cumulatively, 66-26. So another high-scoring outfit for 7th-year head coach Chris Newton. I mentioned Albers, Owen, and Ross, but you're also seeing guys like Bryce Bjornsson, like Jake Goosens, like Nolan Brooks, who's got 9 goals, chipping in regularly. Bennett Winkle, 9 goals as well. On what you might consider the Pioneers' second line. So a couple of 9-goal men on a second line. That's really good, and that's why the Pioneers are so dangerous. Also because they have some veteran experience on the back line, like Owen Stropke, picked up a couple more assists last week, plus another goal. He had the teddy bear toss goal against Catholic Central in a game that got a little weird, let's be honest, as East Grand Rapids prevailed 10-2 via the mercy rule. You don't see that a lot in that rivalry matchup, but we did this year, mostly because Catholic Central was playing with an emergency goalie in net. But hey, EGR took care of business, and here they are again tonight, hoping to do the same thing against the Kenowa Hills team that's 10-8 on the season. They've won 4 in a row, and they've scored 63 goals on the year, but they've allowed 68. So Kenowa Hills has played in some high-scoring affairs this year. Some of their final scores on the season include 5-4, 7-0, 9-3, 9-1 in the negative way. They lost 9-1 to Alpena, 7-1, 6-5, 6-3. Just a small sampling of what they put out there this year. They do have 2 wins, I should say, against OK competition. Remember, Kenowa Hills is now no longer part of the OK Conference, as their athletic department has moved on to the River Cities Alliance, the new conference. Much controversy about that last year, but I digress. Anyway, Kenowa Hills has played 4 games against OK competition, or excuse me, 8 games against OK competition. 2 of those wins are against winless East Kentwood, but to the Knights' credit, they did pull off an upset win against Hudsonville 4-2 earlier in the season, but they have lost big to teams like Caledonia 9-1 and Rockford 7-1. They also were blanked by Catholic Central 3-0. That was the only game in which their senior captain, Trace Del Carmen, number 13 in white tonight, he has 24 goals on the year, 36 total points. That game against Catholic Central, the only time the Knights have been shut out this season, that's the only time he hasn't scored this season. He has points in 17 of 18. So despite the Knights graduating 31-goal scorer Jack Jeffries last year, they are still a potent team under head coach Matt Wiedenhoff. So getting set for the drop of the puck, your Pioneers and the Knights finishing up the warm-up, and we'll be set to go after the national anthem in just a couple of minutes. So I'll take a short break on the East Hockey live stream and bring it on back for first period action. Stay with us from Walker. Yeah, just game. Don't know if you caught that on our audio feed, but the PA announcer forgot one of the Kenowa Hills players in the starting lineup. That was Jayden Rockwell, the sophomore, 6 goals, 11 assists. Hey, he's no slouch. He starts up front for the Knights, along with their captain, Trace Del Carmen, 24 goals, 12 assists, 36 points, all of which lead Kenowa Hills. And the third forward on that line, Locke Acker, 4 goals and 11 total points. On defense, Jacob Musser and Chase Mulvey, who was injured the last time I saw Kenowa Hills, which was back in late December when they fell 3-0 at Catholic Central. Jared Lang, the alternate captain, with a 5-5-0 record in net. He'll get the start between the pipes for head coach Matt Wiedenhoft, a .953 save percentage in recorded games. How about that? Cooper Rowan's going to take the face-off, playing up front today for East Grand Rapids. Between Trevor Bird and Jake Goosens, Caden Goosens and Porter Brooks are on the blue line to start. And, of course, it's Charlie Finch, the freshman goalie. As the Pioneers crank it in deep, it'll be Brooks at the far point, sending it down the wall. Picked up there by Jake Goosens, cuts in, shoots, and the first save made by Lang just 15 seconds in. And the Kenowa Hills Knights cleared. It's deflected up off the glass. Del Carmen swinging at it. Rockwell tried to carry it in. The puck jumped on him, and so dumped in by Del Carmen on second effort. Back behind the Pioneers net, Goosens gets wiped out on a check by Locke Acker. Pushed toward the side of the goal. No trouble there. Porter Brooks calms things down and slings it around the kick plate over there for Jake Goosens in front of the East Grand Rapids bench. Couldn't clear. Pinching up to hold it in, Chase Mulvey, but now the Pioneers are away as the Knights try to change ahead of the play. Trevor Bird breaks back, shoots, save made by Jared Lang, and he holds. No further play. 16:03 to go in the first period. Actually, the clock continues to run for a couple of seconds. Now it's 16:01 to go in the first. These teams play every year, but they're no longer okay conference rivals as Kenowa Hills has moved on to the River Cities Alliance. That means its hockey team is left to schedule everything on its own. There's no automatics, I guess, besides some of the local squads like East, who they play regularly. Wrist shot by Whitaker Hill after the face-off win. That deflects into the far corner. Owen Stropke steps up the wall. Stropke, the alternate captain for East Grand Rapids. Albers pulls it off the wall. Here he comes, cutting to the good ice. Shoots, save by Lang. Point blank, great chance for Albers, the Pioneers' leading goal getter with 13, but he's denied there from between the circles. Really good opportunity. Well, I told you, Kenowa Hills likes to play run and gun. 63 goals for, 68 against. The Pioneers on the year 66 for, but just 26 against. And this will be an icing against Kenowa Hills. As Charlie Finch puts his arm in the air. Somewhat mandatory fashion. Felt like he had to do it even though it was an obvious call. A minute and a half in. James Albers was going through a bit of a dry spell until last week. He scored 5 total points in the 2 games, both wins for East. Wrister by Stropke, fended off by Lang. Pushed to the corner. Oliver Owen, another one of the Pioneer snipers, clears it around. Whitaker Hill, the freshman D, who scored his first career goal against Catholic Central last week. Spun it to the near side and horseshoes around for Brady Ross. Couldn't quite control, though, and flipped to safety by Jaden Rockwell, the long-haired forward for Kenowa Hills. You know when he's on the ice. Some beautiful flow. Stropke shoots in deep. Lang couldn't stop this one. The Pioneers starting with several possessions in a row in the attacking zone. Winkle left it behind. Bjornsson cranks it behind his back right to the middle of the Kenowa Hills zone, and the Knights bang it through to center. Del Carmen left it there for Rockwell, and he deflects it forward. This is Caden Goosens. Up the far wing on the breakout. Bjornsson, one-touch pass. He gets it back from Winkle. Bjornsson sailing in, snipes the shot, but it's deflected up and out of play over the high glass. We've got a very low angle for this game, different perspective on things. One thing I like about that is you do appreciate the size of the players. I didn't realize how tall Bryce Bjornsson was. I feel like he's grown a couple inches since the season started. Bjornsson, just a junior, so he's got some more, well, maybe some more growing to do. I don't know. I stopped at age 16, but your mileage may vary. Winkle decides to pull it out to center, prioritizing possession. Goosens shot from center ice, banged off a body, and Theo Partridge charges back for Kenowa Hills. Took the shot, save Finch, big rebound. Finch made the save again, and he collects the second chance attempt as it was pushed toward goal by Harrison Smith. He has 11 goals on the season, but he couldn't find his 12th right in front of the net. The puck was loose, but Finch found it before the Knights could. 14-13 to go in the first, and we've had a chance at both ends now. Face-off coming up at the near side circle, and Smith poked it toward the middle for the Knights. Brooks scoops it up. Sachets his way through center, and the chip down the boards. Back behind the net, Rowan. Again, playing forward in this game. Rowan left it there, a high flip off a partition. from Jake Goosens. Back to the point, Stropke nubbed it down the wall and quickly cleared by the Knights. Stropke sped it across. That was away from the reach of Jake Goosens. Jake Goosens, 4 goals on the year, no assists. He's your Cy Young Award favorite. Down the boards goes Porter Brooks, freshman D. I don't see Nolan Brooks out there. So maybe that's why we see Cooper Rowan up front. Usually we'd see Nolan in the first couple of shifts. He's got 9 goals, 15 total points on the year. The all-forward trio of Ross, Albers, and Owen is out there. Look out, Albers. A little bit of a hospital pass in the middle of the ice. Del Carmen, though, didn't lay off him necessarily, but Albers pulled up to avoid the check. Owen, in flight, shot it up the blocker of Lang, and it deflects to the near side wall. Ruckwell head up for Kenowa Hills. His pass off the stick of Del Carmen, who couldn't take it cleanly. Ross on the regroup. Here come the Pioneers. Albers right down the wall. Shot it, save made by Lang. That's at least 5 good chances against Lang. He stopped them all. Albers niftily stick handled between his own legs. Gave it off to Goosens. Caden Goosens, the defenseman, down the wood. Over to Ross near side as the Pioneers reverse play. But Brinker turned it over. Rockwell, 1-on-2, lost control of the puck. And Brinker takes the handoff in his own end. Saucers it across. Off the carom from the side wall. Ross hits Owen, pulls the trigger on the shot, save made, rebound, and that was blocked in front. I think the first shot was blocked too. Did not get through from Oliver Owen. Bjornsson, pass against the grain to Winkle, all the way over near side. Stropke shot it off the body of Lang, and it bounces away. Jared Lang is used to getting a lot of work. I believe in that win against Hudsonville, he made 60-plus saves. I'll have to go back. Had some notes from that one earlier this season when the Knights played Catholic Central. Stropke closes, shoots, Lang telescopes out to make the save, and there's no rebound. And that's what it's going to look like tonight, I think. A lot of action in the attacking zone for East Grand Rapids. They're going to be buzzing the goal, but Lang, it's going to be tough to crack. 11:54 to go in the first. Really, Lang and his backup, Cody Palmer, have almost split the duties down the middle this year. Lang's 5-5. Hold that thought. Winkle shoots. It's deflected wide on the setup in the slot. Far boards Harrison Smith, the high-scoring winger, content to just clear it to the red line. Stropke sends it right back in anyway. Lang, this is his 11th start. Cody Palmer, fellow senior, his backup, has started 8. The Knights are 10-8. They've won 4 in a row. They lost 3 straight prior to that. Whitaker Hill, the flip in. Lang gloves it down, looks to shoot, almost like he's shooting for the empty net, and it's gloved down by Stropke at center ice. Boy, Lang is worth the price of admission already. Shot by Stropke, glanced off the glove of Lang and over the net just barely. That just missed going under the crossbar. They might have actually caught the iron just a little bit. Out at the point, off a Pioneer's stick. Charging back comes Harrison Smith. Try to put it through the legs of Brinker, but it drifts right in on Finch, and he pounces for the stoppage in play. 10:56 left in the first. The teams that Kenowa Hills has beaten in succession, the Kalamazoo United co-op squad, 4-1. Then they beat Bishop Foley, 7-1. They edged Kalamazoo Eagles 6-5, and just this past weekend out at Griff's Ice House, they downed Negaunee from the Upper Peninsula 6-3 with a 4-goal third period. So both these teams coming off games in which they scored 4 in the third to win. Goosens, the deft backhand flip into the far corner. Fielded first by Chase Mulvey, the right-handed shooting defenseman for Kenowa Hills. Up the near wing, out it comes, pulled through by Reese Brandon. Brandon having some trouble with it. The Pioneers converge on him, and Brandon has a seat. Meanwhile, the puck just drifted on net, and Finch had to make a save. I'm not even sure that was really a shot. It just ended up going toward the net. Ross charging down the wing, took the shot. That was patted out by Lang, given right back to Albers. Looks, Deeks, backhand, and it's off the pad of Lang. That's at least 10, maybe 12 saves already for Jared Lang. Albers shot it off the iron. Came free to Stropke, shoots off the stick of Lang. Keep up if you can. Frantic action down to our left as Hill whacks away at it. Whitaker Hill bangs it on goal, and Lang makes the save, and then he throws the stick out on Albers. He didn't like the fact that Albers was fishing for the rebound. This one's a little bit feisty. Feisty goalies make for entertaining games, I will say that. 9:55 left in an entertaining first period, albeit a goalless first period so far. The Pioneers in search of win number 13 on the year. They've lost just 3 times, and the one tie, well, who could forget that? That was 2 Wednesdays ago. 0-0, as our friends in soccer would say. That was against Grand Rapids Christian. Braden Malin earned that draw for the Christian Eagles, that's for sure. Oh, it's a power play, excuse me. First power play of the night. Albers is going to the penalty box, I guess for maybe slashing the goalie. I have no idea. We'll wait for the announcement. It is slashing. Albers in the box. I didn't think that was much of anything, to be honest. I thought Lang made more of it than it was, but either way, the Pioneers are shorthanded. 30 seconds into this power play, Del Carmen trying to run the gauntlet. He left it behind, though. Poke check by Stropke. Ross clears off the glass, and Owen at the neutral zone shoots it up, deflected off a Kenowa Hills stick and into the Knights bench. Out of play. 1:23 left on the Albers minor penalty for slashing the goaltender. Time of the penalty was 9:45 remaining in the first. Since these periods are 17 minutes, I don't do the math to see how far into a period a penalty or a goal occurs. It's just too complicated. When it's 20 minutes, it's much easier. I have to continue to drill my mental math skills. Attempted lead pass went off the skate of, oh, there is Nolan Brooks. Never mind, he is out there. Didn't see him the first couple of shifts, so Chris Newton trying something new this evening, at least to start the game. A collision at center ice. Winkle went down along with Del Carmen. Rockwell goes after his own dump in, but it's picked up by Winkle and jammed off the near side wall and out back into Knights territory. Del Carmen tries to settle a rolling puck with 8:40 left in the first period. About halfway through the frame, 44 seconds to go on the power play. The Knights haven't really set up on the advantage. Winkle meandering through center and just over the blue line, chops it ahead. This is the first of 2 games on the week for your Pioneers. They'll play Friday night, 7 o'clock at home against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. Second matchup of the year against them. But meanwhile, it's Acker shooting from between the circles. Finch makes the save, and there is no rebound. 20 seconds to go on the Albers penalty. That game against Forest Hills Northern, critical because it will, if the Pioneers can manage a win against the Bird Dogs, that would clinch the number 1 seed in the Roo Division going into the OK Conference Tournament in 2 weeks. That'd be a Tuesday game, that first round game, and another clear by the Pioneers. Owen Stropke this time handling the duties. But the Pioneers would play the 4th seeded team out of the Fisher Division. That one's still up for grabs right now. Not really sure who's that going to be or who that is going to be. Ross diving inside, shorthanded. Oh, he nearly got all the way through for a shot, but I don't know if he ever actually put that on net. And now he ran right through the goal and knocked it off its moorings. Talk about a hard-charging play for Ross as the penalty expired. Power play time is over, and East has killed it off successfully. That's been one of their strengths this year. For all the talk of their offense, and it is a potent offense. Like I said, they've just given up 26 goals in 16 games. That's less than 2 per outing. That's good, in case you were wondering. Charlie Finch, the goaltender, a big part of that. A .927 save percentage and a 1.61 goals against average, including 3 shutouts in his first varsity season as a freshman. But also penalty kill. Like I mentioned, the Pioneers just have the puck a lot. It's hard to score against them because you're always chasing the puck. Goosens dropped it. Rowan shot it. It was blocked high in the air, and it drops in play high in the Kenowa Hills zone. Stropke retrieves the dump out by the Knights. Couldn't jam it down the wall, so Bird fillets it over to the far wing. And right back to Whitaker Hill, who guns it cross corner. 7:15 to go. In a relatively quick-moving first period. Good flow to this one. Bird turns, wheels it in, heads off for a line change. Lang stopped it, couldn't clear it up the far side all on his own as Brinker stopped it up there to the near corner. Pushed off the wall. Brooks is on it. Just the Pioneers one step quicker than the Knights in all 3 zones. Lang shot it over the glass and out of play. And so we will face it off in Knights real estate in just a couple of moments. Kenowa Hills started 2-1 and 3-2. They've been right around the 500 mark all year, really. They beat Reese Puffer. That's another one of their impressive wins. They won that game on the road. Lang also did incredible work in that game. Bjornsson, the shot, redirected over the glass again. Not many teams call this rink home. This is just the one-sheet facility that we have here in Grand Rapids, along with Eagles Ice Center. Brooks shot it off the blocker of Lang. You could hear it collide with the glove hand from up here as Winkle shoots off the catching glove, and Lang thought he wanted to play it, and then he decided better of it as he dropped it down with Locke Acker just telling him to hang on, get a whistle. I mentioned Trace Del Carmen. He's scored in all but one game this year. He's on an 8-game point streak currently, including 13 points in his last 4 games. He had 5 goals against the Kalamazoo Eagles last weekend, last Friday. Brinker takes this pass on his backhand. Good job to keep it in. Owen thought about a one-touch off to Ross. They go to war behind the net, but the puck squirts free, and the night's clear. Just a couple of shots on goal for Kenowa Hills. They're playing the absorb and try to counterattack game at the moment. This is icing against East Grand Rapids, so Kenowa's going to get an offensive zone draw for once here with 6 minutes to go exactly in the first period. Great to be with you from the Walker Ice and Fitness Center. I believe the Knights are the only high school team that calls this facility home. I've seen some Sparta kids hanging around here, but I'm pretty sure they play their home games at Griff's Ice House. I have not seen Sparta in my 4 years calling hockey in West Michigan. Ross, hands off, Albers driving to the front of the net, the pass, and just away from the backhand blade of Albers, or excuse me, of Ross. Now Stropke shoots the puck. That's offline to the left. Albers collects in the corner, pushed it over to Whitaker Hill, who pinched up. Back to cover for him was Ross. Hard shot. Glove save by Lang. And no further play. 5:32 remaining in the first period. Well, I mentioned that East Grand Rapids looking at the number 1 seed in the Roo Division if they can win. Actually, I think just a tie is good enough because they are currently tied with Caledonia for points in games against Roo Division opponents. EGR 4-1-1. Against Roo Division teams. Stropke, another point shot. This is patted away to the end wall by Lang. Back behind the net, swirling in to take it, Alex Menzel for Kenowa. He can't clear. Whitaker Hill kept it alive. Sent it far corner. Stropke gloves it down. Has a look. Stropke. Lateral pass all the way over to Jake Goosens, the right winger on this line. He runs right through Jacob Musser in the corner. Stropke, can he keep it alive? No, he can't. Knuckling puck off the heel of his stick. Del Carmen pushing back against Hill. Del Carmen a pass to the front of the net, a blind one, and no one was there. He had a couple of reinforcements coming, but they were late to the party. Stropke tried to pick it and flip it out of the zone. That didn't work, but fortunately for him, Rowan's right there to help it along to Bird, and the Pioneers get the clear. 4.5 to go in the first period. Still in search of our first goal tonight. Sometimes these Wednesday games can be a little sleepy, but EGR came out hard. It's just that Jared Lang was ready to go in the Knights' net. Out at center, Partridge driving over the line, but the Knights are offside. Kenowa Hills in the black and the gold and the white. Almost an old-timey, I don't even know what to call it, Boston Bruins-ish look from them with the old Pittsburgh Penguins socks as well. I've got a pair of those somewhere in my basement or maybe even my parents' basement back home. Chopped in behind the Pioneers' net. Caden Goosens lifted it along, rolling puck, and swooping in to take it, Nolan Brooks. He turns on the Jets down the wing. Driving wide, Brooks. Backhand toward the front, and a rebound chance. Lang made the save on Bjornsson from point blank. Driven through to center and beyond by Kenowa Hills. Goosens to his defense partner, Brinker, in the near corner. A shimmy and a shake, and he tries to get out of some trouble as he's being forechecked heavily. His pass off the boards. Harrison Smith kept it in the offensive zone. No offside, but the Pioneers reverse the play, and they work it out through center down the right wing. Winkle, high shot, glove down by Lang on his knees, and he holds again. 3:33 left in the first period. This is the third straight meeting between these teams here at Walker. East won easily last year, 6-1, although they gave up the first goal of the game. Whitaker Hill, a point shot right into the belly of Lang, and again, he absorbs. I mentioned Jack Jeffries. He was a terror for Kenowa Hills. 31 goals last year for a team that won 11-13 and then lost to Granville in the first round of the D2 playoffs. But Jeffries has graduated. He scored the only goal for Kenowa Hills in last year's meeting, right toward the front of the net, off the pad of Lang. Albers hooked it there, but no one home for the rebound. Del Carmen, he wanted to deke his way between Hill and Stropke, but no sail. Rockwell centers. Del Carmen shot it, but it was blocked. Hill got the stick there to knock it away to the far corner. Solid play with 3 minutes to go in the period. Rockwell wanted to turn it in front. Hill blocked that too. Whitaker Hill, just a freshman, playing big minutes though for EGR. Stropke tries to settle the puck and does. Angle pass off the wall. Ross unable to receive it. Ice getting a little bit chopped up as we had the warm-up after the ice resurfacing before this game. And it shows at the moment. Acker taps it below the goal line. Rockwell on it. The Pioneers have the numerical advantage as the Knights are changing behind the play. Up with it, Albers. Swerves around Smith. It's a 2-on-1 with Owen. Albers waiting, feeding. Owen couldn't take the pass. It was just away from him. Maybe a little bit outside of his reach to try to shoot it quickly. Owen, though, back on it, working hard, has the puck again. His pass was deflected, but Brinker handled it well. Banged it below the goal line. Winkle turning this way and that. He's waiting for Bjornsson to join the fray. 2 minutes to go in the period. Winkle kicking it along. Boyd tries to free it up. So does Rockwell for Kenowa Hills. It'll be Bjornsson, though, winning the puck. Centering. Brooks couldn't pull the trigger as Acker got in the way. And the Knights systematically work it through to center. Rockwell shoot in, hit the leg of Ethan Brinker, and Brinker has control again. Off to Caden Goosens, back to Ethan Brinker, the junior D-man. 4 points on the year, all assists. He's back for it again. Does a quick spin move. Hits Goosens with 90 seconds to go in the period. He charges ahead, flying into the zone, left it there for Bjornsson, back to Caden Goosens. He hacks it forward and hightails it back to the bench. The Pioneers have had good shift change discipline in this first period. They're keeping fresh bodies out there. To the point, Hill, centering pass off of Rowan's stick. Stepping up Bird, can he keep it in? It's off his body, but it clangs to neutral ice. Bjornsson and Rowan, they run Reese Brannon off to the wall. 52 seconds to go in the period. The Zamboni door is open. The garage door is open, ready to do its job. But can the Pioneers put one in before the end of the frame? This time Bird turns it over. Del Carmen wanted to twist to the outside with it, but he was stick checked by Stropke. Del Carmen pulls it free for a shot. Blocker saved by Finch. He punched it away to the far wall. 30 seconds to go in the period. And that clearing pass by East Grand Rapids hit somebody on the Pioneers bench. And so the faceoff will come back in their end after the whistle halts play. Friday's game will be the last game before a couple of non-conference matchups for East Grand Rapids at the MIHL Showcase. Looking forward to that. In fact, I'll be down there in Trenton for one of those games. Lead pass. Ross behind the defense. He's in for a shot. Lang, I think, got a piece, but a penalty is coming up. Penalty on the way. Penalty shot. Penalty shot has been called. Brady Ross fouled from behind on his way to the rack, and he draws the penalty shot with 20 seconds to go in the period. I kind of thought that might be the case. We haven't seen one this year, or I haven't seen one this year in an East Grand Rapids game. We did have the shootout, though, against Houghton. Can't recall off the top of my head what Ross did. Let's look back here. He was actually stopped in the 4th round of that shootout. So forget I said anything as Brady gets set. He has 9 goals on the season. Can Ross give the Pioneers the edge late in the first period? The ice is choppy. Keep that in mind. Let's see what he does. Right between the circles, a backhand. He scores! Brady Ross is rolling down Rodeo, and it's 1-0 Pioneers on the penalty shot. Unassisted, of course. Ross just waited out Jared Lang. Lang went down. Ross just held it on the backhand and flipped it halfway up the netting. Easy as that, huh? Not so much. Like I said, this ice is choppy late in the period. You got to bear down on that stick, and I think that's why Ross kept it relatively simple. Just one stick handle from the forehand to the backhand, and that was it. Here's Albers, though. He's not satisfied. He'll swoop behind the net. His backhand feed out to the point. Goosens down to 10 seconds. Stropke has some room. Shot it deflected. Saved by Lang. Ross is to it. Hacks it over to Stropke. Back down the wall. Intercepted by Del Carmen. And a Hail Mary shot goes wide of the goal as time expires in the first. So the Pioneers get on the score sheet. Brady Ross, a penalty shot goal. Are you not entertained? It's 1-0 after 17 minutes here from Walker Ice and Fitness. Stay with us on the East Hockey live stream. Second period on tap from Walker Ice and Fitness. Just an 8 o'clock start tonight. Not as late as the last 2 Wednesdays at Patterson. Those were 8:30s. That game against Christian 2 weeks ago, we were out of there at 11 o'clock or so. Kind of rough for a school night, although I forget what even school is like. my kids have been home since Friday. I was talking to East head coach Chris Newton. He said, yeah, I got to get my kids back out of the house here. Many parents feel the same at the moment. East leads 1-0. And stealing the puck away, Porter Brooks, freshman D. A couple of freshmen on the back end for East Grand Rapids. Albers, hands off. Owen shot over the crossbar against Jared Lang. Good opportunity right off the hop in the second. Partridge feels like whenever that line comes into the zone with any kind of speed, something good is going to happen for East Grand Rapids. Bryson Lamming picked this puck off. Owen, though, stole it from him. Shot over the bar again. Just got to adjust those sights, Oliver. That shot was on target. Lang made the save. Back behind the goal. Albers flips it out in front, but it's taken by Smith and whacked out into neutral ice. If you're joining us late, Brady Ross had the only goal of the first period. Here he is. Shot it off the arm of Lang, and it bounces away to the far side wall. And the Pioneers, just like in the first period, putting the pedal down to start, but a lead pass. Here's Harrison Smith leading in. Save made by Charlie Finch, and no penalty called either. Good defending as Goossens got a little bit turned around, but he recovered well. Bjornsson puts it on net, and that's off the blocker of Lang and punched out the center. Maybe a 2-on-1. Nope, the Knights drop back as Smith pulls up into the attacking end. He's stripped by Owen Stropke, gives it up to Nolan Brooks, pushed it out the center for Winkle, and on to Bjornsson. This is a 2-on-1. Bjornsson scores! Bryce Bjornsson calls his own number down his off-wing side, and he says, take that, 2-0 East Grand Rapids. How about the start to that period? East just comes at you. Those two top lines, if you will, just roll them over, and they're going to keep the pressure on, this time on the counterattack. With 15:28 to go in the second, the Pioneers double their lead to 2-0 on Bryce Bjornsson's 5th of the year, matching his season total, matching his career total coming into the season. Brooks knocked it around the wall. That's Nolan Brooks. Speaking of guys having breakout seasons, Stropke shot, and Lang gloved it just a couple of inches off the ice to keep it for the whistle. So the opening 90 seconds of this period, wild and woolly, and the Pioneers cap it with a perfect shot into the top corner from Bjornsson. He had Bennett Winkle with him, but looked him off and picked his spot. Right to the front of the net. Lang lets it go. Trevor Bird, the freshman, he's on it. Guns it back to the point. Goossens all the way across. Good move by Ethan Brinker on the toe drag. Shot at save. Lang, rebound. There is no rebound. Ethan Brinker, well, he got a couple of appreciative reactions from his bench in the midst of that play as he dangled in for the opportunity in the left face-off circle. Exactly 2 minutes into the second period. Boyd, after the face-off win by Kenowa Hills and Del Carmen. Partridge flushed it around off the kick plate to the far side. Musser run off by Cooper Rowan. Rowan centering. Bird couldn't quite control it. It was deflected away from him by Partridge. Bird will take it back, though, high in the zone. His soft backhand behind the net. And Rowan tried to center, but that was interrupted on the way. Partridge picks it up, clears it through to center. Lamming has it deflect off his stick. Brinker takes it back for East Grand Rapids. Caden Goossens with his head up for his brother Jake, twin brother Jake. Couldn't take the pass, could Jake, but here's Caden. Caden lowers the shoulder, gets around one man. A stick was in his midsection. That was Partridge, who dropped it to avoid taking the penalty. I guess it worked. I don't see any arms up in the air from the men in stripes. Goossens, short tap to Ross, speeds by a couple of Knights. Owen takes over on the cycle game to the point, and Porter Brooks cracked down the wall. Owen Wanted to go back to Ross, but ended up turning it over to Menzel. His pass at the skate of the referee, who put his hand up in frustration. He was trying to get out of the way, but he couldn't. Albers crosses over and couldn't whip the shot on net. The puck drifted away from him. Hill beyond the reach of Albers, but it was intended to go below the goal line for Owen. Albers, the captain of the Pioneers, stepping on the brakes and lost control of the puck in the middle of the ice. Harrison Smith didn't get to the red line. That'll be icing against Kenowa. Albers, known for his goal scoring, but a lot of that's built on his skating. The more I watch him, the more I appreciate how well he controls his edges. Just slicing into that ice surface. There are two edges on each ice skate, the inside edge, the outside edge. The best players use them both. In fact, the best players are on their outside edges more than their inside edges. That's the acceleration edge, the outside edge. Stropke down the wall, protecting the puck. Too far on that pass for Nolan Brooks. Rockwell for Kenowa Hills. Turned it over to Bjornsson. He's got a goal in this game. Shoots again, and he scores again! Bjornsson from a similar spot, this time just curling off the wall. I don't know what that hit, if it hit anything, except for the right post as it caromed home. Good eye, sniper, 3-0 Pioneers. 2 in a row for Bjornsson, 13:09 to go in the second. It's the sweetest sound in hockey, the clang of the puck off the post before it bounces over the goal line. Well, unless you're the goaltender, that is. Sometimes it's the sweet sound for the goaltender, not that time. Post and in. Goosens knocks it down the wood. Acker takes it back for the Kenowa Hills Knights, but he skies it beyond the reach of Del Carmen, and that'll bring the face-off all the way back down to our right with 12:48 to go in the second. East has the gas pedal pressed down now. Bjornsson picks up 2 in this game. I was mistaken earlier. Bjornsson now has 6 on the season. He just had 1 in his career coming into the year. Misread my own notes. So he has 7 for his career, 6 this season. Bryce Bjornsson, his 3rd varsity campaign. Hill, look out, man coming from the blind side. That was Del Carmen as he rubbed him out on the near side, but given away. Rowan shot it, blocker save. Lang, who was on top of his crease. He's a tall goaltender, even when he's on his knees there. It seems like he covers most of the net. No easy snipe opportunities to the top shelf against him. Jake Goosens deflected it ahead for East. No icing call there, obviously. Platt through center. Pass was blocked, and all the way back to Caden Goosens. Albers curls out of his own end. Owen, bump set for Albers. 1 touch to Whitaker Hill, a defenseman. Wanted to go back to Albers on the give and go, but it was tipped up into the air to the far corner. Owen looking. He's got Ross. He's open. He shoots. Lang gobbles it up, and Brady Ross that close to his 2nd goal of the game. Matching Bjornsson, but not to be. The Pioneers have done so well in this game, creating turnovers and then quickly looking for offense after those turnovers. These guys are hunting goals. What do you expect? They're Pioneers. Those guys did some hunting. Brooks at the point, taking the pass from Ross. Under some pressure, so he fed it below the goal line to Owen. Off to Ross, shot it off the mask of Lang. You could hear the clank of plastic and metal from up here. Owen ripped it in. Lang checking his mask to make sure that it's still structurally sound. Back behind the net, Chase Mulvey pushed it near side. Owen in the way. Brooks held it on his backhand at the blue line. Porter Brooks' shot hit Mulvey in the slot. Bounced right over to Albers, though. Ross is open. He takes it, twists it back against the grain. Porter Brooks' shot, blocker save by Lang. Comes out to Caden Goosens. Fake the shot. Off to Ross. He'll try to go top corner, but he missed it off the glass. Goosens at the blue. Pilfered it off to Albers. Now to Brooks. Wrister right through the top of the crease. Lang let it go. Goosens pivots back. Just kept it in on the blue line. Ross Slipped a pass. Brooks, wrister, blocked. Out high by Theo Partridge. Out to center it comes. Partridge trying to win the battle. A little joust against Porter Brooks, and a penalty is coming. Hooking is the call. I don't know who it's against, though. We'll see which penalty box door opens. Brooks was the one engaged in the battle, and Brooks is going to be the one going to the penalty box for East Grand Rapids. We just had the one penalty in the first period, and that was to East Grand Rapids. Well, excuse me, we actually had two penalties technically, as Kenowa committed a penalty that led to a penalty shot. Never actually got the number of who it was. And then Brady Ross converted that penalty shot. But put it this way, Kenowa Hills has had the only two power plays of the night now as their second one begins. Brooks on his backhand side, unable to clear, second chance, and he forces it through to center. Porter Brooks, the freshman, 2-4, yes, he is the freshman, 2-4 hooking. Brooks and Hill, the freshman D on the Pioneers. You've also got Trevor Bird, freshman forward, and covering all the positions, of course, Charlie Finch, freshman goalie. Finch hasn't been heard from a ton in this game, but he had to make a couple of key saves against the flow of play, against the run of play, I guess they would say, in soccer. And it applies to hockey as well. Cleared on the steal by Nolan Brooks. Two Brookses, two Goosenses on the Pioneers. The Goosenses, the Goose and I don't know. We'll try something different there. They're twins, both juniors. And the Brooks brothers, see what I did there? The senior in Nolan, the forward, and the freshman, Porter, the defenseman. Smith gaining the zone, and he's open, risks it, but he didn't really get much on that. Might have partially fanned on the shot. Brinker, first to the puck after the missed attempt. Oh, and lead pass behind the defense. It's Ross shorthanded. He'll shoot, save by Lang. And Ross is tripped up by the goal stick of Lang, but no penalty there as the puck was bouncing around. Lang tried to corral it, unable to do so. Well, Ross got the better of him on the breakaway situation in the first period on the penalty shot. This is a delayed offside, intentional offside ruled against East Grand Rapids. The faceoff will be yanked all the way back down to our left. Anyway, Ross now 1 for 2 on breakaways against Lang. 15 seconds remaining on this power play. And the Pioneers have the best chance during the Kenowa Hills advantage. The Knights just lost track of Ross, who now has 10 goals on the season, 3 behind Albers for the team lead. Bjornsson's up to 6 with his 2-goal performance so far tonight. Goosen's behind the goal line, battling, trying to kill some time and win the puck. He does both, has it, clears it all the way down 200 feet. That'll do it for the power play. 8:37 to go in the second period. Jared Lang stops it behind his net. On the handoff to Luke Platt. He's banged into. Brooks and Bjornsson team up to generate the turnover. Brinker D-to-D on the re-rack. Goosen's lead pass for Winkle. I guess he didn't touch it, so it's icing against the Nears. Back on the air on the East Hockey live stream Friday night. Pioneers will play Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. The Bird Dogs have a record of 3-10-3. That's a 6:30 face-off. I think I said 7 o'clock earlier. It's 6:30 on Friday. Chris Newton is getting quite animated behind the East bench, talking to one of the referees who heard him out, but I don't have a clue what it's about. A couple of the assistant coaches are smiling, so not sure the severity or the seriousness of the argument. Offside at the East line, and the draw pulled out into neutral ice. Well, I mentioned last year East won at 6-1. Bennett Winkle had 2 goals and an assist here at Walker. Albers a goal and an assist. East Grand Rapids led 5-1 after one period, even though Jack Jeffries scored first for Kenowa Hills. And the Knights are trying to pull off a late change. Mulvey looked to step on the ice, but could not get there to replace Menzel. It was too late. Whitaker Hill, a good rush. Oh, but he pulled up, sprayed some snow, and fell down at the half wall, trying to get back into the play, and he does. Rowan deflected it toward Jake Goosens. Whacked back to Stropke, holds in at the right point. On the exchange with Bird. Tried the deke to the middle, but broken up by Partridge to the point. Stropke's save made on the wrist shot, and the rebound sprayed right over to Trevor Bird's side of the ice, but he couldn't whack it in the net. Rowan's backhand out to the point, and Stropke had retreated because Smith was stretching the zone on the potential breakout pass by Kenowa Hills, should the Knights have won that puck. Stropke doubling back. He'll be first on it again. Looks over both shoulders, as you always should when you go back for a puck. Stropke takes the return feed from Hill in the near corner. Hammered off the wall, right back into the clutches of Owen Stropke. His backhand. Mulvey fell down at center. Bird, though, end of his shift, does get there, but not with a lot of speed, and he almost felt like he had to go after it. Now he'll shoot off to the bench. Owen takes it in front of his own bench. Ducking inside, feeding. Ross shot off the arm of Locke Acker, high in the air. Players looking for it. They find it eventually. Albers behind the goal. Slip pass. Ross. And a penalty. I think it's coming against Oliver Owen. It is. Menzel went down on a cross check at the side of the net. Owen said something to him briefly with 6:41 to go in the second period. And the Nears go short again. Interference, the call. I thought for a moment it was going to be against Kenowa Hills because the Pioneers had the puck and the whistle didn't sound, but I think the referee was just sorting out what he saw and who indeed had the puck. Of course, hockey is unique in that penalties aren't always called immediately. If the team that was fouled has the puck, you give them the chance with possession to do something with it. Del Carmen, a shot deflected, and a glove save by Finch. Just made himself big, and then he grabbed it along the ice to get the stoppage in play. 9 seconds into the power play. I've got a little bit of power play info on Kenowa Hills. Jaden Rockwell, Alex Menzel have power play goals on the year. Hard to believe Del Carmen doesn't have at least one. It's not marked down that he does, though. On their stat page on Michigan High School Hockey Hub, which is still a great resource. Just we don't often get the special teams numbers. That's the one thing that would love to see, I suppose, teams be a little more diligent about when they hand in the box scores, but that's just me. Wrap around, side of the net. Brinker picks it off, and Brinker clears. The Pioneers are sending two men up on this forward check. Albers and Ross. Albers harasses Del Carmen, and Ross nearly took it away and does take it away at the red line. Albers tried a football-style juke move there, head and shoulders fake, but Menzel wasn't fooled, and he'll gain the zone to Smith. Now Del Carmen, pass toward the front, deflected. Partridge on one knee. Couldn't one touch it on net. 1:10 to go on the power play. Del Carmen's shot, that missed everything. Off for Smith, he fanned, side of the goal, backhand by Menzel, pad save by Finch, and pushed to the near wall. Best pressure on the power play tonight for Kenowa Hills, but they can't connect, and it's back to center. Del Carmen cracked it across. Smith turned it over at center ice. This is Albers. He's in over the line. The Pioneers are onside. Albers closing. Oh, what a move! And he scores! Albers is 14th, and there might not be a prettier one this year. I know he's got some competition. Shorthanded goal, 4-0 East Grand Rapids. Be good or be good at it. Albers is both, as he powers it by the glove hand of Lang, and it drops into the net. Now Albers made a couple of men miss. That was all him. That was a solo mission. Down a man. The Pioneers add to their lead. Slight delay on the face-off. And East wins the draw, dumps it in. Still 30 seconds to go on this penalty. Brooks stepping up the wall. A drifted shot off the blocker of Lang. Nolan Brooks elevates that behind the Kenowa Hills net. Pass up the middle. Turned over to Brooks. A shot right into the chest of Lang, and no further action. Acker just handed that over. And Muster saying, what was that? With masks on, it's hard to tell when players are talking to each other unless it's rather obvious. That one was obvious as the Knights are looking for answers right now. 4:44 to go in the second period. Lamming yanked it free for Kenowa Hills, but right to the Pioneers. Brooks, far side, wrister by Goosens off the leg of Lang. To the far corner it goes. The power play is over. So East with a penalty shot goal, a shorthanded goal, a couple of even strength tallies. Both of those at 5-on-5 by Bjornsson. Ross and Albers the other two. Albers is 14th of the season. Now 63 career points at East Grand Rapids for James Albers. He's 4 behind Oliver Owen for the active lead in career points on this squad. Owen's got 67. Lead pass, Bjornsson. He's got 2 in this game. Working in against Menzel. It's 1-on-4, so he decides to back out, wait for help. He does find help in Rowan, who slugged the shot that missed. Back to the point, and I think Brinker took his eye off it for a second, so he's got to parade back for it. Knocked it up the wall, intercepted by Trace Del Carmen. Hill took a bump from Del Carmen, but Hill moved the puck over to Bird. From the far wing to the middle, and dragged to center by Cooper Rowan. Rowan's pass, just under the stick of Jake Goosens. Otherwise, he would have had a chance. He still might have a chance. Open man in front, Bird. Unable to receive that pass on his backhand, but he sped it back to the point. Brinker swerved around one Knight, off to Hill on the pass. 3:07 to go in the period. Partridge under duress. Rowan got in there for a stern stick check. To the point, Hill shooting, blocked right into the chest of Partridge. But again, the Knights can't clear. Hill keeps him bottled in. Whitaker Hill's wrister deflected off a stick and off the high glass near corner. Partridge again can't get it out. He's 0 for 3 this shift. Goosens charging down the wall. Behind the net, tried to center it. That was blocked. Given away to Whitaker Hill at the point again. His wristers deflected over the net. Owen to it. Owen looking, centering. Ross thought about wristing the shot from the face-off dot, but instead he passes over. Hill dropped it off. Owen shooting, and it's tipped up into the rafters, and that'll give the Knights a chance to get a breather with 2:21 remaining before the break. It felt like the Globetrotters for a second. A series of drop passes, cross-rink deliveries. Just fun hockey to watch. And fun to broadcast, for that matter. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far tonight. My name is Matt Gajtka. There you see my name in the bottom left corner of your device screen. Wrister hit Ross right in the back of the leg from Caden Goosens. Never feels great. Regardless of who shoots it, some friendly fire there. We are at Walker Ice and Fitness Center on Remembrance Road, west side of Greater GR. Up the middle of the ice, given right over to Owen. Albers, backhand pass on the overlap. Owen takes it, slammed it behind the net, but it hit Jacob Musser in the foot. Caden Goosens pushed it behind the net. Ross pulls it off the wall, drifting, head up, looking, has a man off the bench, got it to him. That's Hill, shot it low, stick save by Lang with Albers in front. Albers to the puck. James Albers looking for another shot, and he scored! Albers overpowers Lang from the inner edge of the right circle. On the cut-in move again. We've seen that a couple of times in this period. First from Bjornsson, this time from Albers. And he stands up next to a mountain. James Albers has 2 tonight, and it's 5-0. 1:28 remaining in the second period. 4 goals in the second for East. Albers has 15 on the year. And now 6 in his last 3 games, and we're still playing that third game. Porter Brooks surging ahead, poke checked at the line. Winkle turned it back into traffic. That's broken up. Del Carmen unable to push forward for Kenowa Hills, though. He tried to connect on to Rockwell. Instead, it's onto the blade of Whitaker Hill. Up to Bjornsson on the breakout. Winkle, he's got Nolan Brooks with him. Winkle, looked like he had his skates taken out from under him by Del Carmen. Play allowed to continue on. And punch free to center ice by the Knights. Remember, no power plays yet in this game for East Grand Rapids. Still, it's a 5-0 game. From behind the net, push to the side of the goal, and that's off the skate blade of the goaltender Finch, and taking it back Whitaker Hill all the way. A low shot, Lang the save. Tough to beat Lang along the ice. He's very fundamentally sound with that butterfly position. 35 seconds remaining in the period. You'll notice East has beaten him high, at least over the pad every time. Nothing's gone in along the ice. Bjornsson pulling up, 22 seconds left. So we have Bjornsson and Albers on hat trick watch tonight. Brooks, lovely little spin off the wall, but lost the puck. Bjornsson, one last try, 11 seconds, wristing it. Wide to the short side, off the corner boards. Majewski collides with Jake Goosens. Pardon me, that's Caden Goosens pushing down the wall. Menzel couldn't take control as time runs out in the second period. 2 from Bjornsson, 2 from Albers, and the Pioneers lead 5-0 after 2 against Kenowa Hills. Back for the third after this break on your East Hockey live stream. Stay with us. Third period begins. We're off and rolling from Walker as Albers takes the shot from a sharp angle that missed. And it caroms off the corner boards. Out it goes. Caden Goosens retrieves for East Grand Rapids. Ross to Owen. Barreling through center ice. Oliver Owen. Kind of a quiet night on the score sheet, at least for him, but he's been active. A lot of puck touches. This line itself, as a group, often has a lot of the puck. Turned over by Porter Brooks, though. Here comes Trace Del Carmen on a breakaway. Left the puck behind, and he scores anyway. Trace Del Carmen recovered after the turnover and drove it by Charlie Finch's glove hand for a 5-1 score. 16:19 to go in regulation time. Del Carmen's 25th, that's right, 2-5, 25th goal of the year for Kenowa Hills. That breaks the shutout. Really an unforced error at center ice as the Pioneers gave the puck away. And sometimes on fresh ice, it can actually be trickier to corral the puck. It's hard to explain unless you've played. Not to be the you got to play the game kind of guy, but just saying, it may look better when the ice is fresh, but the puck can squeak away from you at times, and it almost did on Del Carmen there. I guess the best way to describe it is it's good to have a little bit of friction there between the puck and the stick. Chance down the wing. Brooks seemed like he was interfered with, but play allowed to continue. The Pioneers have no power plays in this game, so it's 5-1. Turning in the slot, Levin, and JP Levin turned away. Good save by Jared Lang to keep JP Levin off the board. Would have been his first varsity goal and point. Unfortunately, it doesn't go for him. Lucian Bruck out there too. Turned over chance, and Lang makes a save on Benno Winkle's opportunity from the right circle. Both teams are coughing it up left and right. Winkle on a loose puck. After Stropke's shot was stopped, Winkle sharp angle from that side, and Lang absorbs it with 15-12 left in the third. The puck's bouncing around. Maybe both teams having a difficult time getting their focus back for the third. I heard it is starting to snow again outside. Well, we have a third consecutive snow day. I guess some schools didn't even have MLK Day off on Monday originally, so they've had 3 straight snow days. Musser wristing off the blocker of Charlie Finch. Trying to recover from that early goal against. Finch got some conciliatory taps on the pads from his teammates. They felt bad, I'm sure, for hanging him out to dry in the opening minute of the third period. Tough for a goalie, too, because there's no warm-up between the second and third, or the first and second periods for that matter. So when you come out for the start of the second and the third, you got to reacclimate yourself. Excuse me, as Trevor Bird tried to pull it off the wall unsuccessfully. Stubbed back into Pioneers real estate. Runyon pulling it off the boards. Lead pass. And it's Trevor Bird. Bird, Runyon, and Rowan is your line for Chris Newton's Pioneers. Good to see Chris Newton and the Pioneers as well getting some love from state champs. They visited the game against Forest Hill Central, the 6-1 win last Saturday at Patterson Ice Center. Look at Lang throwing this one 10 feet in the air back into Pioneers territory. Brinker takes it. Boy, if the opportunity ever arises for an empty net goal, Jared Lang, he could pull it off. I just watched Alex Nedeljkovic of the Penguins do it, last week against the Buffalo Sabres. Of course, folks around here know of Ned, played for the Red Wings. He's from Michigan. Played for the Griffins, in fact, a couple of years ago, did Nedeljkovic. Now the most recent NHL goalie to score a goal. J.D. Meny, first touch on the puck tonight. Meny, shake and bake move. Meny between the circles, and he's stopped by Lang. Meny and Levin in this period, both no points on the year, but they're strutting their stuff. Lang getting in the way of their storybook moment, perhaps. We saw Whitaker Hill score his first career goal last Wednesday. It was in that Mercy Rule win against Catholic Central. I just posted that highlight to a couple of social media platforms today. I wanted to share it because it was such an oddity. A first period empty net goal. It was also shorthanded. Dropped off. Winkle closes, shoots, saved by Lang right off his blocker. Pardon me, that was not Winkle. That was Brady Ross, as Coach Newton's got the lines in a blender trying to get some guys playing time in the third. He's got Alex Barnes out there with Levin and also Ross. He's got the senior with the two newcomers. Caden Goosens jams it down the boards. Around the kick plate it goes to the near side. Levin bottles up the Knights. Matthew Boyd, alternate captain for Kenowa Hills, ended up giving it away to Brady Ross on the far wing. Ross lowers the shoulder, off to Many. Dumps it in deep behind the net. Alex Menzel first to it for Kenowa Hills. Turned it over. Ross is stopped on the chance. Lang scrambling to get back up to his feet. Ross giving Brinker, shooting, save, rebound, and another stop on the chance at the side of the net for Nolan Brooks, looking for his 10th goal of the year. Hill, Nolan Brooks, shot it, save Lang, and he stops the music with a glove save. 11:52 to go in the third. A couple of times I've been caught with my head down in this period. Teams are not being very cautious with the puck. It's being turned over left and right. That time it was the Knights' turn to give it away to the Pioneers a couple of times. And Ross that close to his second goal of the game. Could have the rare 3 pairs. You don't see that hand in poker, but got 2 goals for Bjornsson, 2 for Albers, nearly 2 for Ross. I don't know if 3 pairs beats a full house or not. Albers rambling back in. Here he comes, and a stuff try. Couldn't get the shot away. James Albers is putting on a show. Those hands are working in overdrive this evening. Hands and feet. And he just picked the pocket of a Knight, but it's deflected past him. Out to center, Harrison Smith. The only goal of this game so far scored by the Knights. Smith trying to just drag it all the way through, and he did, but harmlessly into the glove of Charlie Finch. Freshman 10D makes the save with 11:11 left in regulation time. Well, last year was a pretty routine win for East here against Kenowa Hills, 6-1. 2 years ago, not so much. East Grand Rapids won 6-5 in overtime. That was another Wednesday in January. Something about this time of year, this day of the week. It's when these two teams find time for each other. Acker's shot was weakened on the way. Runyon confronted by Musser, but Musser poked it right to Cooper Rowan. Gets his feet moving, crossing over down the wing. Runyon slicing inside. Owen Runyon thought about a pass, but had the puck stripped away from him. Porter Brooks at the line. Cleaned out on a check by Acker. Brooks got a piece of that clearing pass, so no icing against Kenowa Hills. In that game 2 years ago, Scotty Millman scored the game winner in overtime. Kenowa Hills led by 2 twice, including with just a handful of minutes to go in the third. Rowan passed it through center, but right over to Alex Menzel, senior D-man for Kenowa Hills. Looks for an opening. Smith passed to the doorstep and deflected just wide by Rockwell. Put right back out in front, and it's behind Smith. And here are the Pioneers rushing back, 3 men strong. Owen shooting off the blocker hand of Lang. Impressive speed from Oliver Owen. Centers for Levin. Save made by Lang. Alex Barnes to the puck. Now it's Barnes, Levin, and Owen. I like what Coach Newton's doing here, putting a veteran player out there with newcomers in a couple of occasions, giving the new guys some support as they try to create a memory here, get their first points at this level. Brinker knocked it out of midair over to Bryson Lamming, threw it on net blindly. Finch made the easy save. 9.5 to go in the third. Brinker confronted by a couple of Knights in the corner. Lamming hooked it back to the corner. Pass toward the front, deflected all the way out to center and beyond. Trace Del Carmen has scored the only goal this third period. That's kept the Knights in touch, albeit still a long distance shot away from making it interesting. Outside of the opening minute of this period, the Pioneers have been pretty good with the puck too, even though they are playing with some different line combinations. Looks like the D pairings are for the most part intact. Although I haven't seen much of Owen Stropke in this third period. Tapped along. Here's Hill. Hill waiting, feeding. Bjornsson shot, and he just missed. Maybe Lang got just a piece of it. Bjornsson in his bid for a hat trick. Bjornsson one more time. You can just see him gaining confidence by the game. Bryce Bjornsson slipped it by one man, by a second. Here he is, saved by Lang. Rebound, and Winkle couldn't put it in. What opportunities for East in this period, but Jared Lang's put on a show himself. Many a shot, and it just deflected behind the net. Wraparound try. Lang couldn't get a piece there as it slides right through. Winkle on it again for East. Goosens shooting, deflected in. Caden Goosens from the point. Maybe Brooks got a piece in front. Brooks is looking back to Goosens. I don't really know. I guess we'll find out on the box score, or who goes through the line first. Bjornsson's coming through the line first. No, it's going to be Brooks, actually. He'll celebrate. Like I said, I thought it was him. Caden Goosens shot the puck. If it's Goosens' goal, it's his first varsity goal. It's 6-1 East with 8:06 to go in the third period. I think it'll go to Brooks. Just the way everyone handled themselves after the goal went in. Yes. Nolan Brooks, his 10th of the year. Goosens gets another assist. That's his 6th of the season. Meanwhile, here they come again. Hoekstra, the pass went just under his stick. That is Trip Hoekstra, wearing the number of Charlie Hoekstra, who was big-time contributor for this team. Hoekstra centered it for Ross. He stubbed it into the corner right off the heel of his stick. So the Pioneers keep pressing. 7.5 to go in the third, icing the call against Kenowa Hills. Brooks from Caden Goosens, so Goosens will have to wait on that first career goal. Nolan Brooks, meanwhile, he had 4 goals in his career coming into this season. They were all last year. This is just his second year on varsity for the senior. Well, he's added 10 more to his ledger this season. And counting. Goosens whacked it off a stick behind the Knights goal line. Off the scrum, Runyon trying to get his nose dirty and find that puck. Bird harasses a Knight. Pushed out to the blue line, just beyond. Goosens waits for his teammates to get onside. Now he charges in, backhand pass toward the front, and deflected away. Caden Goosens right back to it, though. Rowan centers under the stick of Runyon. Bird gets to it to the corner. Runyon pursuing. Bird throws his body at his man, and that causes the turnover. Goosens to the point. Down the wall with it. Cleared to center. Caden Goosens snaps a saucer pass across to J.D. Menny, who's showing off some good hands. Menny up to Runyon. Trying to run the gauntlet, but fended off. Partridge, though, turned it over behind his net. Bird still churning and finally lost control. Menzel, smooth skating and a good feed off to Smith. One-timer from the blue line and an easy save by Finch again. Hill, a slip pass to Menny and some trouble, and he's hit hard by Acker. That's a penalty. Penalty coming up, maybe for head contact. Elbowing, actually, the call from the referee on the near side. With 6:07 remaining in the third, the Pioneers will finally get a power play. Not that they have to have one, but it's just kind of interesting. Jaden Rockwell to the box. 2 minutes on the elbowing call. In a 6-1 game. This will be 3 wins in a row for the Pioneers after that 2-1 loss to Caledonia. Bjornsson from the sidewall. Gunned it wide. Goosens pulls it off the boards. Caden Goosens showing his skill in this game for sure. Around the boards with that pass to Bjornsson. Lays it off softly to Ethan Brinker. To Bjornsson. Thought about a shot, considered it, now pulls back. Dropped it off with Acker in his grill. D-to-D pass, Goossens snapped it into the far circle. Bjornsson, that pass was behind him, but he takes control again with some hustle. Bjornsson circling the zone all the way across. Brinker wristing, and Lang saw it the whole way, makes the save and flicks the puck away to the face-off circle. 5:22 left in the third period. Well, so Trace Del Carmen for Kenowa Hills keeps his point streak alive. That's now 9 straight games for him. He has points in 18 of 19 this year. One of the bright spots for Kenowa Hills, but it's looking like the Knights are going to have their 4-game win streak cut short. They'll drop to 10-9. They'll play Cadillac next week. They don't play this weekend, it looks like, according to my sources. Owen, top of the circle, snapshot, saved by Lang through traffic. First power play of the night for East. Owen fell down as the puck was coming to him, just caught an edge, and it's cleared by the Knights. 1 minute to go on the advantage. Headman delivery that bounced over the stick of Albers, then it bounced over the stick of Platt as well. Albers shot off the post. That close to a hat trick. Owen corrals, feeds off the stick of Smith out high, but right to Ross, who has a goal in this game. Back in the first, penalty shot tally. Owen, one-touch pass, too far for Albers. Into the corner, though, and Brooks is on it. It's the all-senior look on this power play. The usual first unit, but they get the second unit duties on this advantage with the team up 6-1. Owen left the puck behind as he was poke-checked by Platt and banged down the surface by the Knights. Just wide of Charlie Finch, one touch. Right to Ross, coming back for the puck obediently. Makes the feed off. Albers with some time and some space, and he's stopped by Lang. Rebound, Ross. Save made by Lang. Incredible stop as he stretched out, and I think he got it with the glove. This guy's something. Jared Lang, some of their biggest wins of the season against Hudsonville, against Reith's Puffer on the road. Lang has been the primary reason that the Knights have been in these games. When you got a guy like that back there, boy, it gives you a lot of confidence. Del Carmen run off on the shorthanded rush. He was 1-on-4 almost. Rowan, he's checked hard by Boyd, but the puck comes to Hoekstra. Tries the cut-in move against Menzel, who pushed him away. Menzel played the man, not the puck, and it worked out for him. Cleared to center. We're under 4 to go in the third. It's Wednesday night special from Walker. Lead pass, Rowan. Knocked it down at center, but right to a Knight. It's given back over to the Pioneers. Goossens slammed it to Brinker. He chips for Rowan to the corner, swerving, feeding. Lucian Bruck a shot. And that bounced to the end wall. Rowan, 1-on-3, gets some help from Hoekstra now. Trip Hoekstra with Cooper Rowan now backing out of the puck battle. He's going to go to the bench. Things you can do when you're up 6-1. Just trying to keep some fresh bodies out there. Porter Brooks a poke check on Harrison Smith. Whitaker Hill slammed by Acker. And the Pioneers a little awkward at the bench. Levin had to wait for Hoekstra to get off the ice. Otherwise, it would have been too many men on the ice, I think it would have been called. Brooks set sail through center. Whacked as he came in over the line. Tried to pass it off to Runyon, but that's taken away. And punched out to neutral ice. Hill pushed to the surface by Musser. And what have we here? A penalty for charging. I think it's against Musser for that hit on Hill. Right in front of the penalty boxes. Yes, Musser will go off. Back-to-back penalties against Kenowa Hills. Charging the call. One of the more rare penalties that you'll see. 2:20 remaining in this game. 1 goal apiece in this third period. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot on the line for the game Friday against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern. If the Pioneers get a tie, that'll give them 1 point. That'll push them past Caledonia for first in the Roo Division standings. And that'll do it as far as the pre-tournament portion of the OK conference play this year. Winkle, Brinker, handling, firing. Blocker saved by Lang. That catapulted off his blocker into the high slot, but it's cleared by Del Carmen and the Knights. That first game of the OK Conference tournament will pit the first place team in the Roo Division against the fourth place team in the Fisher Division. I suppose I could pull that up if I get the opportunity here. That'll be Tuesday, February the 4th, though, a Tuesday game at Griff's Georgetown. Time to be announced. Goosen's a wrister. Levin deflected it, but away to the corner. Power play for East, a late power play. We've just got 90 seconds to go in this game. Goosen's another shot, tipped off the rink, went off the stick of Rockwell and careened into the screen. Yeah, let's look at those standings. Not in the Roo, though. We want to see the Fisher Division, if we can. See if I can pull that up. As of right now, looks like Jenison is in fourth place. That could be the first round matchup for East Grand Rapids at Griff's Georgetown. That's the home rink for Jenison. But I think East would be the home team. I know they'd be the home team officially. Hill wanted to pass it to Bruck, who was wiped down to the ice by Menzel on a check. Many can't quite keep the bouncing puck in at the blue line. We're down to 1 minute to go in the third period. Granville currently leads the Fisher. They're going to win the Fisher Division in the regular season. They're 6-0 in the Fisher. Quite the rebound year for the Bulldogs. Might see them down the line in that conference tournament. And lift it into the glove of Lang. Charlie Finch is coming off, and we've got a new goaltender on for East Grand Rapids. First appearance of the season. For Jack Bennett. Jack Bennett into the game, number 1. He's the dressed backup tonight. So previously we saw Wilson Eckley, also a senior, get in. That was against Lake Orion, second game of the season. This time, it's Bennett. So 2 seniors backing up the freshman, Charlie Finch. Both Bennett and Eckley have not played organized hockey as goalies previous to this season. So full marks to them for giving it a go and giving the Pioneers a couple of backups. Hill's pass cross rink. We'll see if he gets a chance, does Bennett, as many slapped it just wide from the right dot. Bruck back to Hill. We've had plenty of opportunities to see a first varsity goal go in this third period, and it just hasn't happened. Many, one last try. Bouncing puck toward the front as time runs out. Pioneers win. Pioneers win it. And the Pioneers burst off the bench to congratulate Jack Bennett on getting into a game. A little bit of extra juice at the end of a 6-1 win. East Grand Rapids improves on the season to 13-3-1. They've won 3 in a row, and they'll go into that matchup against Forest Hills Northern and Eastern on Friday with an opportunity to clinch first place in the OK Roo going into the conference tournament, going into the MIHL Showcase as well. The Pioneers rounding into form. Another really solid effort tonight as they shake hands with the Kenowa Hills Knights. The Knights have their 4-game win streak cut down. They're now 10-9 on the season. Well, thank you so much for watching from Walker Ice and Fitness as we took it to the road this evening on a Wednesday. Hope you got a chance to warm up. Feels warmer in here than out there, that's for sure. We'll take that. We'll take whatever we can get in the middle of January in West Michigan, especially this winter. I'll talk to you on Friday from Patterson. Back home, sweet home. 6:30 face-off against the Bird Dogs. Second and final meeting of the season against them. Until next time, I'm Matt Gajtka saying good night, God bless, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days for more hockey on the East Hockey live stream.